back on Izzy, you feel me? My man lost, dog. My man lost, dog. Bro, I was in Houston, sad. Felt like crying. Nigga, I was pissed off. It was whack, but it's all good. You know why? My nigga's alive. He's doing well. Cause it could be worse, but it's not. Gotta watch my nigga fight again. And I hope it's not the end of his reign. You know what I mean? Like when Silva lost, like he didn't get it back. You know what I mean? Like the only person that lost and got it back and kind of stayed on top was like GSP. You know what I mean? People in their reign, they don't ever get it back. It's kind of like they just like stay there. Conor lost, never got it back. He's just a star, but nigga ain't like a fighter like that, you know? Hopefully it's not the end of his reign, man. Hopefully not.
You know who it is? The realest. Grab my new merch at engageind.com.
David Adesanya, your uncrowned 145-pound champion, here with former two-time UFC middleweight champion Israel, the last Stylebender, Adesanya. You heard me to say that.
Yeah. I was like, wait, it sounds like at a funeral. I swear, I was like, that was a eulogy.
That was a dagger to my own heart.
You must have done this interview
What you mean by that?
a couple days after, bro. You know what I mean? He just put it in this out right now. You can tell.
Yeah.
Whew. All right.
Breathe. Why are you sweating?
I don't know, nigga.
Cold sweat. Jesus Christ. He's actually sweating.
We back. Whatever. It's out of the way.
Yeah.
All right.
Now
We're here.
We here. We are 1 week removed from the fight. How are you feeling?
Told you.
How am I feeling? About the fight itself.
Everything. Break it down however you want to break it down.
How am I feeling? I'll put it the bet quietly confident, and that's after watching the fight. I was like, oh yeah, I see.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
You watched the fight back. Have you only seen it the one time, or have you gone back to watch it again?
Nah, just once. I watched it
And
again.
that was a couple days ago.
Yeah.
What was the experience like even watching it?
Watching it, I was just like, okay, you just gotta fucking pull this back. You've seen me, even if I've had fights that I won, but I wasn't really satisfied. I was just like, I don't want to watch that shit, you know. But I just watch it anyway, just so I can learn from it. And yeah, this is no different. I wasn't happy with the performance, so I was like, don't want to watch this, but I have to watch it just so I can learn from it. As soon as I watched it, and it's the same reaction every time, I'm like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Like I said, even fights that I've won, and I'm like, it probably looks shit. You know, it wasn't as da-da-da-da, and I watch it, I'm like, oh yeah, that wasn't that bad. So this was the same thing. I was like, that wasn't that bad. So I was just like, the way I felt in there was different than how it looked.
How did you feel in there?
How did I feel in there? Like a bad dream. Like, you know, one of those dreams where you...
Lucid nightmare or something?
Like, just like, not even a nightmare. Like, nightmare is like, oh shit, fuck.
That's what I feel like. Bad dream. I was projecting.
Well, a nightmare is like, you know, you're scared. But this is like, just like, why's this not, like, you try and hit the guy and just feels like noodle arms. Like, just like,
It's like when you're running in a dream, bro, you don't run fast.
That just felt like a bad dream. But, yeah, feeling it and watching it completely different. And called Eugene right afterwards and we talked to him. Same thing. We're quietly confident.
While you were in there, did the fight go fast or did it go slow? How did it feel?
Surprisingly fast. Surprisingly, I didn't even know it was the last round. I was like, is this the last round? He's like, it's the last round. I was like, fuck. I was like, okay, like, vámonos. Like, you need to do something. So, but yeah, it's just the way I felt in that fight wasn't, it was just, But again, it's just also the way he worked. He just never let me get into my rhythm at all.
Let's talk about it, yeah. What are some of the things that he and his coaches did well? Because they were pretty upfront. Everyone knew what their game plan was going to be. Forward pressure, cut you off. And he said he was willing to give one to take one.
Yeah, but just wasn't able to like just get my rhythm because of his pressure. He was right there constantly, and whenever I was setting him up, because he's right there, then his coach would help him, and I'd be like, fuck. And yeah, it was just good game plan from their end, but also for me, I wasn't able to adjust on the fly. And we can break that down another time. But no, it was his night. It was his night, and yeah, he got it done. I made another dream come true.
Talk about how good his defense was, because at some stage during the fight, you mentioned that you couldn't find your jab.
Yeah, even like I said it before the fight. I think his guard is like just real unique and unorthodox. So I wasn't able to find my jab, and I'm able to find my jab. I can find the.
That
chin.
nigga fighting like Floyd, bro.
I'm very
like
confident in that. But
that's a good stance right there.
It was just his guard was just good. It was good. Good defense and good offense. Well-rounded game.
Let's talk about the first round. He rocked you and dropped you with a right straight. What was your own initial reaction to that like? Because we saw, people's reactions on the internet. Rogan almost had a heart attack. Like
Rogan almost had a heart attack.
Popped out of his head, like, couldn't even...
I haven't seen many of them yet, but yeah, mine was like, this nigga just dropped me. And I was kind of like laughing a little bit. And at one point I looked at Mark Gorda. You can find the clip and frame it. I was just like, I'm okay. But I was just like, and then right afterwards, we disengaged, and I feel like, right, I'm clear, I'm lucid, back on the attack. And then it was 5 seconds or something left, so then I went back to my corner. But I remember I was
What
awake.
did Eugene say?
I was out of position. Like, I was out of position, and I tried to use a lead hook counter, but he just pop, the rhythm. That's not what Eugene said, but like Eugene just pretty much said I was out of position. But when I look back at it now, it's just his timing. The 1-2 was offbeat, pop, and then just got me in between in the rhythm. It was good. It was a nice shot, clean. And the barrage as well, I was like, oh shit, he's pouring it on. I was like, he's really punching me. I was like, I'm okay, ref. But it was just, I was like,
I didn't see the fight live, but I heard about it. Then when I seen
you
it,
recovered well. You came in the second round, and
like it was
won the
live
second
or
round.
something.
You didn't
Like
look
he got knocked out. But I knew he did it for
I don't like to
some
brag
reason,
about,
man.
like it's a stupid thing to brag about. But no, I know how to recover well from certain shots. I am human, so yeah. But yeah, it was just well-timed shot, nicely executed. It's cool.
Nice. You came back. Second round was good. Like I said, you looked clear. You won the second round. And then talk to me through what's going on as the third round starts, and he's still frustrating you. He's still, disrupting your rhythm. You can't land. He's what's going through your mind as you feel the fight slipping away from you?
As I feel the fight slipping away, I wasn't even scoring the fight, but I just knew, like, nigga, you're losing the fight. But in there, it was just like,
Nigga, you're losing the fight.
Felt like I just felt like my arms were just like noodles.
How did you feel warming up in the back?
Felt better. I have felt better in the back when I'm just like, fuck, I'm sharp. But yeah, I don't know. Just in there, just felt like a bad dream. And just my arms were just noodles, like had no snap. Had no, like, and it just felt weird. At one point, I was just like, I knew I was like, I gotta finish this guy. Oh, and I tried. I set him up a couple times. He defended it well. Corner helped him out, guiding him well. And then I just try and find something and don't get caught. Especially in the last round, I was like, make sure, don't get caught. So I don't like fighting like that. I like fighting to win and not to just, not on the defensive primarily. Yeah, I like to be offensive in certain situations, like in the last round. Okay, we gotta go. But I just couldn't go.
What were your coaches telling you in between rounds as the fight was playing out? Because Eugene said there was a bit of a disconnect with what they were seeing and trying to communicate that to you. And
maybe I wasn't tapped in. Maybe I just, like, sometimes just lag, a little bit of lag. Because even after he told me what he meant, and I was like, he wanted me to, when he talked about that, and I was like, okay, bet, that's what he meant. Like, just a little bit of a lag between communications, I think, yeah.
Is that like also you not being as locked in mentally going into that fight? Because the comparison from 287 to 293 is like...
Someone said something to me. I think
You
it was
had a
AB
hat on backwards?
AB
Come on,
said,
man.
He said as soon as the opponent switched, he said like almost instantly, it was like, I went from, with Dracus, I went like, I'm gonna fucking kill this dude. Like I had this thing about me. He said like when the opponent switched, he just noticed, I was like, okay, I'm gonna whoop this dude. Like I'm gonna whoop this dude. Like going from, I'm gonna murder this motherfucker. I'm gonna fucking kill this guy to, oh yeah, I'm gonna whoop this dude. So that's something AB just happened to mention. I found that interesting. Then I was like, yeah, I did notice that, I guess.
How much pressure did you even feel going into that fight and during fight week?
Yeah, I put all the pressure on myself because in my head I was like, you know, I have to beat this guy. No matter what, I have to beat this guy. So I put pressure on myself. There's outside
I just
pressure,
hope you
pressure
would have
put
beat him,
yourself as
bro.
well, but yeah, I put pressure on myself, but I'm still kind of like dissecting it. So yeah, I put pressure on myself, but I just didn't have that venom. I think it's that venom. I didn't. Yeah, interesting. All right.
I thought you'd get the venom from the, trash talk and, everything. But
Yeah, like I mean, definitely some of the stuff. Hell, it's not over. The story's still being written, but like I talked to Eugene about certain things as well, and then we know exactly what to do. Yeah, we know exactly what to do leading on to the next one.
before the fight, we sat here and we talked about how, in some alternate universe, in some different timelines, Strickland, that was, our job to make sure that...
It's on this timeline.
That didn't happen. When it was all said and done and they announced and knew and, everything played out, what were those, initial emotions like?
Every time after a fight, no matter when you win or lose, you just feel a sense of relief, like, oh, well. So there's no relief of anything, but just like, oh, well, made it out. That one,
Nah, bro.
You're okay.
Your last fight,
healthy,
you had some emotions. You can't say
fine.
that.
So that's the main thing, being healthy, being fine from the camp. And there, even though there's all these little things that happen during the camp, but like overall healthy, wealthy, and yeah. Initially, I was just like, oh, well, good job. First thing I said to him, because he starts crying, I'm like, hey, stop crying like a bitch. He starts laughing. I'm like, hey. And then we talked about, other stuff. I was like, don't bring my family into this today. And he's like, I'm sorry. And yeah, changed his tune at the post-fight though. It's weird. I was like when we have like a real moment and it's genuine, it's like, oh, hey.
He's a politician.
Yeah, but still, it's just like, I guess he has to keep up appearances. But I just find it weird how you have a real moment and then like, yeah, it's all good. Keep it real.
You still went to the after party, you still, had fun, took photos with fans.
Three of us won, so it's still an accomplishment. Even if we're all like, doesn't matter, like what we've done, we still have to celebrate because look where we come from, how far we've come. And to be able to even do that, Sydney, 6 fighters from CKB with a new signee, go in there and do what we did is it's unprecedented. So yeah, we have to celebrate no matter what, even the small wins. So yeah.
And plus, there's a lot of work that goes into it, everything. Let's talk about the boys. Actually, I'll interview them as well. Kevin starting the night off.
Fuck, banger. Yeah, banger. Kevin just went in there and just like kicked the door in and said like, everybody on the fucking ground, and yeah, it's
he
him.
got submission. I didn't watch this event, bro.
We don't know how
I was in
good
Houston,
Kevin is.
freaking living it
The fact
up.
that went in and did the way he
Eating
did.
a big old freaking turkey leg.
At the mic, starts calling
Stuffed
out Ian
with
Gary
dirty rice.
already.
That shit was
calling
good.
out whoever else,
Fell
like
off the
going at
bone.
everyone. But that's Kevin. I know how good he is. So yeah, it's a good job. He kicked the night off well for the boys. And let me see. I don't want to go too much into Diamond and Chain because sour subjects. I don't want to go too much into that.
Yeah, I mean, it's highest of highs, lowest of lows.
That's the game,
especially
though.
when you're part of the team. Like, you know what I mean? 3 wins, three losses. That's right. We're talking about Carlos.
Yeah, a loss.
Freaking
Yeah,
wish Diamond would have won, bruh.
But people won't even know what he had to go through leading up to the fight, through the camp, and during fight week as well. don't know if he's talked about it publicly, so I won't. But like,
That's championship medal. That's how
yeah, he just during the camp it was just some bad injuries that he had to nurse, and then during fight week, bad injuries he had to nurse, like bad, and going in there and then beating him the way he did.
He did his thing.
I'm glad they finally
Injured?
used the replays to, you know, consolidate what
He got
happened.
like
So
three. He got like 3 wins in a row right now.
Tap, and it was out. But if they didn't use the replay, they don't missed it. It wouldn't have been his first submission win. So it was good. Yeah, it was good for the team. Also Tyson as well. That was perfect. That was like night for Tyson. Had the perfect villain in Mr. Pleasure Man, and
I love the fight name.
the way the guy was carrying on, even before the fight started.
Yeah, I think his nickname was the
Texas,
Pleasure Man. Like, bro, what? You're a fighter? That's your name?
I went in there and just starched him, and then like a cold celebration.
Yeah, his celebration was hard.
Gang, that was
With
tight.
the samurai sword.
So, yeah,
and then
and
he
also doing it in
bowed
his
out.
own-
Whoo. I saw
in
the
his own
highlights,
backyard,
like I
yeah.
said. I didn't see the
Fucking
fight.
storybook night. Yeah, so that was cool.
Talk to me about your first post-fight shower.
My first post-fight shower was after the after party, after all the noise.
You didn't shower before the after party?
Nah.
Mans was in there dirty.
Mans was in there dirty.
Moist, but still. Yeah, it was just. There's not much I can say to you guys,
bit by
but it was one of those
mosquito.
ones where I made some tough calls. I was like, okay, right. Because then I was like, you're alone and you get to have that real conversation. So I was like, right, this is what I have to do now. So I know what I have to do. And it was just, didn't take long to be honest. I already knew it, but then it was good to just like face myself and just like, yep, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do that. And I'm like, all right, bet. And yeah.
Dana said you looked slow and flat in there. You know, a lot of people, the general consensus was that's not Israel the last time with Adesanya that they saw at 293. You know, your last 3 fights, UFC 281, 287, 293. That's 3 title fights in the last 10 months. You know, everyone praises you for being an active champion. I'm pretty sure you are the most active
3 fights
champion.
in- really?
10 months, yeah. Well, it was April? No. November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, September.
August.
September, okay, 11 months.
11 months. Still.
11 months is still a
Yeah.
lot, bro.
But
Fighting
yeah, I
that many
think that
times?
makes you, I mean, the number of title fights that you've
Who
had.
else is fighting like that other than
including those
Volk?
ones, I think that makes you the most active champion in UFC history.
I don't know. We'll see. But
How much, and I'm pretty sure you are. How much of a toll does it take on you physically and mentally? Going in there, back-to-back camps.
It does. Yeah, it takes a toll, but again, like I said, I'm human. I understand what I have to do to get back to who I am. And you know what's funny as well?
What?
I've seen a little bit, like, they chirp, they delight my demise and whatnot. But it's funny how they all say, like, if I face that version of Israel, it'd be this, it'd be that. Oh, I'll kill him in 2 rounds. I'll do this. If that version of Israel shows up to fight me, that version of Israel, that version of Israel. I'm like,
I mean, it's in line with the consensus.
I don't know,
People,
but like it's funny how like my, opponents and stuff will like to say, oh, that version of Israel. If that version of Israel, I'm like, well, you understand who I am then, which is good.
Yeah, exactly.
They understand who I am, so yeah, I just find that funny. Even me, like this, you know what I mean? After the Pereira fight, what did I take? Like 2 weeks before I even said anything? I like to take my time with things. I process things. Win or lose, I take my time. That Pereira one was fucking huge, so I had to like take my time to just go through everything, process everything, and just, yeah, I'm good with time. I'm good with patience. So that's why even now it's taken so long before I've done this interview, just to like take my time, go through my own emotions and process everything.
Looking back, how was your training camp leading up into this fight? And are there some things that you could have done differently?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I mean. I had some conversations with myself. And I'm gonna actually like
You wasn't as motivated, bro.
just little things. Like for example, I'm gonna start having breakfast before I train. Like little things like that. I'm like, okay, at this level, you have to. Even though the camps they get better and better, more dialed in with things I do. But then now I'm like, okay, bet we've had this result. So what else can I do to change, to better myself? Certain things I'm gonna do, and yeah.
With everything we talked about, you being active and whatnot, when do you think people will see you back in the octagon?
We'll see.
Do you care who holds the belt?
Nope. The belt's never mattered to me. Like, I mean, it does obviously, but like, how many times have I said,
It's look good on my skin.
just a fancy tiara that brings more money and this and that, rah. But I've gone to the level now that the belt's just a nice accessory. And I already got belts. I got many belts. I'm just gonna do it again, just for fun. Just for fun, you know.
And the last thing, is there anything that you want to say to your fans and supporters? The real ones?
Yeah, dog.
The real ones.
The real ones, bro.
Stick with me, kid. To be honest, no, like I said, those who know me and appreciate me, thank you. Thanks for sticking by me. Thanks for, just thank you. Because without you guys, I won't be able to do what I do. Without you guys, like the real ones I'm talking about, like, you know who you are. The ones that are solid, the ones that take inspiration from my stories and my triumph. Even in my losses, they've taken inspiration from my life story. So thank you guys. I really appreciate you. And again, patience. Practice patience with me. Don't react, respond. Take your time. Let me cook. Let me cook. But
Hold up, brother. Let him cook.
just thank you. That's one thing I can say is thank you, because, you know, in these times, like, bro, last time I lost, what happened? I said they still call me champ. Nothing changed. Won the belt again. They call me champ. Nothing changed. I lost again. They still call me champ. Nothing changes. I'm Israel Adesanya. You're Israel Adesanya. You know me. You know my story. So thank you. Thank you for supporting me, and keep supporting me. If you want to hop off, feel free to. Like, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Appreciate you. But just stick with me, practice patience, and wait for the response.
We gonna get this belt back, dog.
I appreciate your time.
We gonna get this belt back, dog.
It is the realest.
You know the belt don't really mean nothing, but just to let niggas know he the best, you know what I mean? They gotta come back to Phoenix, nigga. So like, they come back to Phoenix, I go there, you feel me? I'm front row, I give the nigga my energy, you feel me? Like, and then that nigga get them freaking whatever, and bop, piece the nigga up, whoever it might be, you feel me? For some reason, bro, I don't think the Dricus fight is gonna happen, bro. I don't know why, but I just got this feeling it's not gonna happen. I don't think Dricus is fighting for the belt next. Then he's gonna fight somebody to lose to that person, bro. I bet you. Watch. Then Izzy gonna come. Izzy gonna fight something. I don't know if he's fighting for the belt, dog. I think Izzy gonna take a break. This will happen. I think Izzy gonna take a break, right? I think they're gonna make Rob fight. What's that nigga's name? Strickland.